Namaste YouTube, welcome to Enoma. We are going to give our reaction to Earthshine by Rush. Let's get started.
Earthshine.
What a bass. Bass throughout, bass in the voice, bass. It was all about the bass, I think. That's what I felt listening to the whole song starts. I like the interplay when it was between the bass guitar and the drums. Amazingly done. Great sing. I guess Alex was finding his spot in the song. Towards the end, he came in and he found sync with the song. He was not to be heard initially. He came in very late when his job became very prominent.
Yeah, maybe.
Musically, it was very well done. It was upbeat, it was fast, it was different, and a lot of bass. Also, the voice of Geddy B, it had some effect, some filtration or something put for some enhancement or some kind of different sound. I liked it. Earthshine.
My analysis on this will be as a counselor and as a counselor only.
Yes.
It seems to be like a cry for help from Neil Peart. I'm assuming. I think it is, he kind of misses his wife and daughter when he wrote this. And he looked up at the moon to, for solace. And he would find them in it whenever he would enter the dreamland, the dream theater of his own creation. He would find that he could, unite with them in that unreal dream world. Now it's very, very deep for me. Now this is again my interpretation of it. That is why I'm repeating it. I do not expect or invite smart comments on what the interpretation of the song is based on what you think it is or what. My job as a reactor here is to give my assessment as a professional counselor. And I don't think the people who wrote this song or the ones who listen to it have that qualification or experience under their belt. So for me, it is a cry for help. It is, he is feeling really lost and lonely. You can sense it in the words for the first time. And it seems like he's looking for an outlet by, writing these songs. Because these songs, the latter half of Rush's career, most of them seem to be an outlet for their experiences, their mistakes, and things like that. Very often when we are so busy with our career, like musicians like Rush definitely were, it's sad that they often neglect other areas of their lives. And it is only when something like that happens, a death occurs, a tragedy occurs, a loss occurs, that they realize that, we didn't want it to be this way. We didn't expect life to turn out like that. And that's why I was watching, or rather reading an interview of Neil Peart very recently, perhaps his final interview. And in that he said, given a chance, he would not like to do it again. So even though in his earlier works, I remember very well he wrote that he wouldn't mind doing it all over again. Sadly, the same person changed his words completely when life had its way with him. So it's really sad to see when this happens. It does show the long career of Rush, but at the same time it also shows a lot of obstacles that they had to face like everyone else. And in this song I could clearly see the sadness. Perhaps no one else around who's watching this reaction, not even you, may understand what I'm saying, because I have been through very similar hardship in my life, where I lost my mother, who was the person closest to me from day one till the year she died. So when she passed away, I did realize, if only I had spent a lot more time with her than being so busy with my friends, with my life, with my career and all that. I did spend a lot of time with her.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I'm blessed to have had a mother who loved spending time with me and also me spending time with her. We had great long conversation. But this is not about me, because the moment I talk about me, people do tend to disrespect it because they think, my opinion should only be based on the words and how I analyze the words or how I react to the music. Excuse me, there is a subscribe button. Please unsubscribe and get out of here. Because this reaction is not for people like you. And you know who I am talking to. 2-3 people only out of the thousands who come here. This reaction is not for you. Do not visit this space again. Because you do not understand the basic emotions of a good human being like Neil Perth. So I understand it as a counselor very, very well. I have dealt with it in my own life. I have counseled clients who have dealt with tremendous losses. I can't even mention it because obviously it's confidential. But at the same time, I can't mention it because even though I can sit back and look at it as a third person, the fact is that I'm a human being too. And it does affect me. When I look back at some of the losses that people have had, I thank God each time after a counseling session is over. I also thank God at the start for giving me such a noble, responsible position in society. I thank God every time at the end of a counseling session, not only grief counseling, but even marriage counseling, teen counseling, and all the kinds of counseling that we take up from time to time. Of course, I'm very much experienced in phobia treatment and marriage counseling mainly, and of course grief counseling too. So whenever I face a similar strand, I hear the similar words spoken by them in the counseling room. And once again, I do not expect anyone who's watching this to understand unless they have been in my shoes for the last 25 years of my life. Understanding clients, helping clients, students, people, companies, and so on. So I do not expect them to understand. But what I do expect is you to respect what I am interpreting the lyrics of this song as. This is how I see it. It may be incorrect and it may be correct. That is not for you to decide. Again, those 1 or 2 people I'm pointing at.
Listening to it, the music part of the song is differently done, and the lyrics are saying another story altogether. The music is quite happening, good, very modern, I would say, very progressive too. And it was done to suit the people who are listening to it and enjoy the music.
I wish it was more well toned down. To be honest, I disagree with that. My opinion is it should have been more mellow. Should have been more soft. Should have been better. Like we just did a reaction to Great Gig in the Sky. And to be honest, that matched the lyrics, the song, the music.
But
I respect when musicians, try to match the tone of the lyrics. And if they try to make it up-tempo just to satisfy the market, that is something that I don't really like.
It's not about that.
That may not be the case here.
Yeah.
But that is again my interpretation based on the music I heard
not the case.
before and now, and the music I may hear tomorrow.
Between the Wheels, I remember, even there the music and the content, both were done differently. And most people thought Kirti should have cried and you should have had tears in your eyes. I won't because I know, I understand what is the content of the song and what is the music trying to tell me. So I understand the intent of the band too, because they don't want people feeling sorrowful or sad because they wrote something that was very close to their heart, and they don't want the same feelings for the people to feel when the music comes out. Because as a lyricist, you take a lot of influence from your own life. It's most of the times, 50 or 60 or 70% of the time, you tend to write something that happens in your life, and you give some, suggesting things, or you use certain objects, you use certain events, you use certain things to give words and shape to your lyrics. And at times it can be mistaken by people who are interpreting it because they may think they may take it in a literal way, that this is what is being spoken about, so this is what it may be. But when we go in a suggestive analysis, what is being suggested here? Why, if he thought of this, why would he think of this? Why would he just look at the moon and think about how far it is? Why would he want to dream to reach there? Why would he just describe how it is? Why would he see his own reflection in the moon? The pale copy of him. Others seeing it from far. He's also trying to say that others seeing from far, when they look at me, when they look in my direction, they think I'm having a gala time, I'm having a great life, I'm a superstar, or somebody who's followed so much. But he's also crying for help. That those same people don't understand what I'm going through right now.
I hope that he got professional help when his wife and daughter passed away.
I hope so, yeah.
Because,
he must have.
I hear many times people say that I found peace in my career, in his case, drumming and writing songs and being part of Rush. At times you do need professional help too.
You do.
It's not just about finding peace in the work that you do. You do need professional help, and I hope he got it. Because otherwise, we may hear tomorrow or very soon that something bad has happened to him due to this.
I think he's dealt with it well, and he has had 2 more band members, and they were very close throughout. I'm assuming because they had such a long career, and having such a long career, playing with each other, practicing with each other, meeting each other on a regular basis. You cannot not have a good rapport and relationship.
There's something called as a business.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's all business at the end of the day. That's all I can say. No one is giving their albums away for free.
Right.
No one is giving tour tickets away for free.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is doing their jobs for free.
Okay.
Whether you talk about any band, I'm not only referring to Rush here. And even in the case of Rush, they're not giving away their albums for free.
Right.
They're not giving away free tour tickets to everybody.
Yeah.
So they maybe have done a lot of charity work, and I respect that. But at the same time, it is after all business at the end of the day. It is to help put food on the table. It is help to have a better life, a higher standard of living. It is to help fulfill your purpose on earth. When I sit here on this reaction, I don't really, I don't even like someone who is not at the same educational level as me commenting on what I have to say, because I have worked very hard to get where I am today. So, when someone comments on my background and experiences, and once again, do not take it so personally. I always know that people who take things personally that I say during the reaction are the ones who are disrespectful. So, I like to mingle with people of the same wavelength, and I feel very, very sad for Neil today because I think he missed out on that. Even though he was part of a big band, and you talk about the friends that they 3 were, for me, I think it goes beyond that. And he must have missed out on having really good professional help and really good friends around him after these losses. I'm sure there may have been few relatives who helped him out, and neighbors and the people in the team of Rush and the recording companies supporting them. But at the end of the day, they are in it for the money. And
it is a commitment.
There is a limit to how much they can go out of their way to help someone in grief. And that's what I'm saying this again based on my experiences. So before you point a finger at me, you need to remember 9 fingers are pointing back at you and me. If I point at you, 9 fingers are pointing back at me. So again, I'm saying this because I've counseled people who went through 2 emergencies in our own city. Forget about the world. The world is large, and I will never be able to see the world or imagine how large it is in this lifetime. So there was a single emergency, very big emergency, July 26, 2005, and I actually counseled people who had been through it. And I have seen firsthand the tragedy and the grief that goes along with an emergency like that. So I can only imagine how difficult it must have been for Neil Peart to get back to drumming and get back to Rush and get back to saying it's business as always or business as usual. Because most times people say the show must go on. But I promise you, the show cannot go on if you've lost a loved one. And if the show does go on that day, you really are a very, very bad person. So I respect Neil for taking a break for 5 years after this tragedy struck him, because that shows he said no. He said no to many people who wanted to make more money. The recording companies, the fans who wanted to buy more of their albums, go on more of their tours. I respect Neil the most today because he said no. The show will not go on.
Yeah, because you lose the spirit. You don't have the right spirit for the show to go on. Other people can carry on. But if you need a break, you need a break.
Yeah, and I can understand how he got the inspiration for this song. I'm sure people will say I'm wrong because that is how it always goes with people who have no clue what I'm talking about here. But at the same time, I know deep down inside that I'm doing a phenomenal service by sitting here and reacting to a song like this.
If you look at it literally, it just talks about how the reflection of Earth comes in our satellite moon, and the only satellite that we have among the other planets, and things like that. But it is beyond that. I think it is beyond that. Just writing a song, and that too coming from the lyricist who we know who he is. If we didn't know the person, if we didn't know his background, if we didn't know anything, that's why we say we also get flooded with the information that we already have. That's when you analyze it with those already acquired information that you have. So if we didn't have all this information about him, we would think that it is just something written, which doesn't really make that much of a sense, because what is this talking about the shine of the earth and the moon and then I don't know what all. But it makes sense when you know why it was written, in what mood it was written, and what was the pain going on at that time, what exactly wanted to come out, what wanted to get unleashed at that moment.
And honestly, I respect Neil Peart once again for having integrity at the end of the day, because most of the songs we have reacted to, I'm talking about us, most of the songs we have reacted to, not heard of Rush. We have not heard of Rush before this, actually, to be honest, apart from a couple of songs that I heard in a movie. So most of the songs we have reacted to talk about things which are very general, It seems like it's a topic just taken because it's a hot topic at that time and you've written a song on it. And I really don't connect with songs like that, unless it's again a topic that is very close to my heart. So this is the first time I have literally sensed, again I may be wrong, like people in the comments will love to say, and I'm sure one or two will not stop themselves from saying it, despite all this that I've just said. But the fact is, I respect Neil a lot today as a lyricist, because he wrote a song, perhaps about his own life for a change.
About his own agony and the pain and the feelings that he was going through. He didn't want it directly out, directly to be out there for the people to read it and understand, but he wanted it. He just felt like, I guess.
So that makes me like Neil Peart genuinely after today. I don't care too much about musicians because they are a dime a dozen, as we know. So, but when someone strikes a chord with you personally through the words that they sing, to the lyrics that they wrote by sharing real world experiences, not trending experiences.
Trending goes because you have obligations from the music companies and you're in the industry and you're in the biz. You can't really feed yourself.
See, I'll ask you a simple question and I'll ask the viewers a simple question who hate me. Those one or two viewers sitting there right now spending a lot of time on our channel just because they hate me.
Actually,
There are 2,000
they love to hate you, right?
who love you and 2 of them who hate me and the other 1998
They're
people
undecided.
who are on the fence.
But hate.
But the fact is,
People love to hate people.
the fact
That's
is that I'm here because of my mother. If she wasn't, and I'll tell you what I mean, not as a reactor, I'm far better than that, just being a reactor.
Yeah.
So, reactors react to things. I'm a creator, which other people react to. So, even when I'm doing a reaction,
You make
the
others
fact
react.
that others react to me,
Yeah, I
especially
know that.
those 1 or 2 people over there, in that far corner over there, deciding what to say today to us,
So you make
how to put us down,
Make reactions
how to stop
possible.
us from doing what we are doing so well. 10 years down the line, people may realize the work that I have done and you have done.
I'm sure.
10 years down the line. It will take that long. Trust me. It will take that long. But the fact is, I'll ask you a simple question and I promise we have to wind up after
We have to. Yeah, I'm looking at time.
that. A simple question to you right now. If your wife, your husband, your father, your mother, your son or your daughter dies today, will you be wasting your time watching a reaction on YouTube? Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.